lease in order to do the financing.
So, I was just gonna say, because we haven't closed on the property yet,
We are not the people that are signing this, but Shilpi Tandon, in respect to us, is not going to do this because of how close in proximity we are to the close. This would be me giving them the thumbs up to do it through their attorney.
so they'd be resetting the 5-year clock from right now, we started it,
Yeah.
what was it, like July or
Yeah.
August?
Right, so they're gonna set it to the closing date?
No, they'll set it to
They'll set it to
whenever
5
they
years.
sign.
Oh, okay,
I
whenever
believe
sign.
they close, or whatever you call that type of deal, next week.
But there's essentially.
That being the new vet taking over the business.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a two-piece question. The question is, number one, are we okay with them resetting the lease to 5 years starting now-ish? And the second question is, are we okay with having them sign a lease with a new person on the docket, as opposed to the current one? Is that correct?
Technically, it's a assignment of lease. It's not a new lease, but then it got more complicated because the person who is being assigned the existing lease needs a 5-year term in order for their bank to give them the money to do the
So
transaction.
it's gotta be a new lease, cause it can't be another person's name, cause they don't own the business anymore, so it's gotta be in the new person's name.
Yes,
Yeah, so it's
but
gotta.
it's not a new lease. It's a transfer of
It's not a transfer, because it would be transferring in the same person's name, right?
No, it's a, what is it? It's on the top.
So you can so the person that currently has the lease has this name, and you're transferring the lease to somebody with a different name,
To the new owner.
okay?
Assignment, assumption, and amendment of lease.
Okay.
This assignment, assumption, and amendment of the lease, this agreement, made and entered into as of August blank 2024, is among 48 Gardner Road LLC, a Massachusetts limited liability company, and Marano Veterinary Services, Inc., in Massachusetts Professional Corporation, DBA Hubbardston Veterinary, and AEL Veterinary Services PLLC. So what this is doing is it is amending the current lease between the Tandons and Hubbardston Veterinary to allow Lauren Morano to sell her business to these people, but then the bank made it confusing. So it's an amendment to Lauren's lease.
Yep,
within a
the
closing
bank just
time
wants to be sure she's got a
Well,
place to do her business in, that's what they're
Yes,
trying to do.
and they want that full 5 years, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little bit of an extension
Yeah.
from the original
What, 6
date.
months?
Not even.
Not even. And
Yeah.
I had spoken to the attorney, cause when they
6
first
weeks.
came, there was an auto
No big
extension
deal.
in here for 5 years. And so before even bringing it to you, I spoke with their attorney and said, hey, that's not going to fly.
Yeah, so I
He
see the
said-
year-to-year mutual option.
Yeah, so
Fine, I'm good with it,
So, and then our lawyer has already checked this out.
I'm good with it.
So we just have to authorize them to be able to sign the necessary
I
documents.
don't even think I need to sign anything.
Just needs to give the
need to,
okay.
I just-
No,
Give
just
the thumbs
a
up,
thumbs up,
yeah,
okay.
then it's okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize Nate to give the okay,
To
for the
lease transfer.
change of the information for the current lease in existence.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion, any questions?
Yeah, I've got some further discussion. So all we're doing is putting the lease in someone else's name, which is having us reset the 5-year clock an additional few months.
3 months, 2 months,
Yep.
6 weeks.
because of their bank.
Okay.
But something they're gonna be able to do anyway on the assignment thing, we're
Right.
just saying okay to resetting the clock, pretty
Yes,
much.
that's basically it.
And
Okay.
I'd like to state on the record that I do appreciate the Tandons bringing this to our attention
Oh, sure.
and their lawyer for being so
Yeah, I mean,
nice and professional.
They kinda could've dropped it in our lap after the fact, right?
With that additional language
Right.
that,
At least they gave us a chance to put some input in there.
All right, so any other questions or discussion?
I'm good.
All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Next item. The, excuse me, cable contract renewal. Again, Nate?
this is from our cable contract provider, Brittany Blaney Anderson of Bowling Alley Media. she has not submitted an increase since 2016. It's either 2016 or 2018.
What's the company name?
I think the contract is just with Brittany, but her company is called Bowling Alley Media. Like, but I believe the contract is with Brittany as an individual.
Got it.
Yep.
Did we get a copy of that contract in the docs and I didn't print it out?
Yes, you did.
When did it expire? The current one? Is it already expired?
Couple years ago.
Oh, the first one's expired?
She just, it rolled over as long as she didn't increase the price. But now she is requesting a price increase for the first time since 2016, I believe.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What's,
You've reviewed the price increase?
I have, and just let's remember that this is not a tax. This is a fee on the back of
Cable bills.
people's cable bills.
Right.
That
what's
pays
the balance in that account?
20,000
And do they roll it all
something.
to one?
20,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mathematically, it works out.
okay.
Yeah, what they go from 40 to 45 bucks an hour or
Yes.
something? In 10
And
years,
based
that's
on
nothing.
based on the 506 hours of service, that $40 per hour last year, totaling 20,240, projecting a similar workload for FY '25 at the proposed rate of $45 per hour would result in an annual cost of $22,770. Our PEG Access Fund, which is designated for these services, currently holds a balance of $29,910.12 for FY '25. The balance is sufficient to accommodate the proposed increase while maintaining a reserve of approximately $7,140.12. We have not received our first quarter payment for FY '25 from Spectrum,
Which is usually how much?
about $7,000.
So we get about 7,000 a quarter?
Yep. And later in here, I do mention that Brittany, and as part of our legislative lobbying efforts, we did mention that the town and Brittany are in support of the legislation that would add a similar fee to, like this one that is on the bill, to a
Streaming
streaming
service.
provider.
Cause cable's going out.
Cable going, it just went up.
No, it's
No,
going out.
Out.
Oh.
People are going streaming.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why they're talking, well, yeah, whatever.
Mr. Chairman, would you accept the motion?
Yes.
I'd like to move to authorize the renewal of the cable management services contract with Brittany Blaney Anderson as presented and authorize the town administrator to sign the agreement.
Motion made
Second.
and second. Any discussion? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye. Yes.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Next item, DPW collective bargaining agreement. Nate?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to thank the DPW for working with Travis and I on this. It took some time to get through. The DPW union is the only union under the town's umbrella that needs their certification and approval from their union steward. So that was what took this so long. This is a minimal increase across the board. I'm not gonna lie, it is padded by the fact that they have not had a full staff in some time. The 6% increase that the board very gratefully gave them last year was taken into consideration here. When I was talking with them, I was hardball about the 0 because of that, and I think other than that, with the way things have currently been going, the DPW goes above and beyond, and nothing in here is either budget breaking or really out of the realm of a reasonable request.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
So there's nothing that would be retroed back to July 1?
The Neil and Ben, will, not Neil and, yes, his name is Ben, will be retroed on their increase,
Okay.
How many guys are we down?
2,
with one matriculating in.
hopefully.
Did we get his stuff back? Yep, so with one coming
Okay,
in.
so still, we're
Getting to
still
that
down.
time of the year, you don't
Yeah, I
want to be
know.
down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Snowstorms.
Yeah.
So 0, 2, and 2 is a pretty good deal, so, as far as I'm concerned, being ex-union guy.
If If that's the case, could we have a motion to approve the DPW collective bargaining agreement for 2025 through 2027 as negotiated?
So moved.
Who made the
Second.
I said so moved, and she seconded.
okay.
Can we hear the whole motion before we
Sorry,
move to
I
approve it?
think he was done,
I did, yeah.
yeah.
The motion is to approve the DPW collective bargaining agreement for 2025 through 2027 as negotiated.
And I said
And
so
if we
moved.
pass this, we have to sign it, so. And it's been made and second. Any questions?
Funny part of this, both employees with any sort of longevity at all, both got a increase as
Mhm.
part of this.
Okay,
Oh,
That's it,
how many
that's it.
packets are there?
There are
well,
three.
we have to, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstained, motion's carried. So this is for us to sign now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what's going around,
It's
okay.
going around.
Again, I would like to thank Travis Brown and Neil Gogan for working with me on this. It was fun. It wasn't-
Yeah, no, sometimes, yeah, I know,
It
sometimes it's
wasn't
rough.
our employees that
Yeah,
took
no,
it this
I know,
long. It was
I know.
Oh,
So
look in
Dan.
here. In my pile of 150 pages.
Don't mix them up.
It's only a
Oh.
12-inch tree by 100 foot.
I recycle.
The trees they took off Old Westminster Road today, I'm swearing. There's
Someone
plenty
will
of
have a
trees now.
Christmas tree.
I don't think they use oak trees to make paper anyways, do they?
It wasn't oak, they went after a specific type of tree
Oh,
to
oh,
clear
in
that
the
lot
woods,
out. Yeah.
Probably poplar.
While you guys are signing that, I would like to speak on the 3 policies of reviewing. After speaking with Director Brown, I have no recommendations for changes here other than marking them as reviewed. I know Peter went and spoke with Travis today, and if
My
he
name's
would be
spelled wrong.
so,
My first name's spelled wrong.
Wah, wah, wah.
So I can't really sign it.
Jeffrey,
Nope.
You
Jeffrey.
can probably cross it out, Jeff, and
It's
just
R-E-Y.
write it.
No,
I
It's
wouldn't
not
sign
a, it's not a document that's gonna go get filed at registry of deeds, it's probably just
I wouldn't sign it.
adjust.
I wouldn't sign it anyway.
Can you just fix that one page and reprint that one page 3 times?
that's why I did
Okay.
So what am I doing?
We're
not signing
waiting.
anything,
We're gonna
and we're all
re-sign.
gonna sign again.
Oh.
Was
No.
it misspelling on your name,
Hold
Jeff?
on,
Yeah,
let me
my
look at
first
mine.
name. Yeah.
Can we re-sign it afterwards?
It's spelled,
We can,
here it's E-R-Y, my name is R-E-Y. My legal name, obviously.
E-R-Y?
Don't sign that.
Jeffrey?
No, it's,
Well, no, I know, it's Jeffrey,
right,
but it's written as, or it's typed as Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Alright,
It's pronounced Jeffrey because there is an E-R-E-Y.
Maybe
I've
you've
seen
been
that
spelling it
mistake.
wrong all these
Yeah.
years.
Mr. Chairman, is it
My
possible
mother
we
will
can
come
keep
back and
going
haunt
through
you
the
because she
agenda?
got very upset about it at one point.
I'm sorry, what?
When it was,
I wanna keep moving on,
Yes.
well, how,
Moving on up.
moving on up, down,
Alright.
moving on down.
well, Nate already asked to move on,
Yeah.
so.
Move.
And
So-
Pay attention.
I respectfully ask if Peter, as liaison, as select board liaison of the DPW, would review his conversation with DPW Director Brown from earlier today ahead of just marking these as reviewed with a proposal of no changes.
I will. So Travis called me Friday, of course. I was already in Maine, so and by the time I answered him, he sent me an email. I didn't get a chance, so I hooked up with him today while he's out mowing grass because his short body's in Boston.
Oh, you found him? You did?
I did,
Mhm.
yeah. And so he has a concern, and I share his concern of plowing private ways that have not been accepted by the select board in town. And that has been going on for quite some time. And it's costing us money that we don't have. These private ways, in order for them to be accepted by the town, need to be maintained by the residents that live on that street. And each resident has to fill out an application to get the ball rolling for us to accept it a year later. But they have to maintain the road and the grade and everything else, drainage, for a year before the town accepts it to plow. For some reason, they've been plowing it, this certain road that I'm speaking of.
Correct?
Yep.
And,
R-E-Y.
and the DPW director feels that we shouldn't be plowing it for liability reasons. First of all, something happens on that street with one of our pieces of equipment that shouldn't be on that street during the winter. It's, God forbid, something happens to somebody or anybody or property damage, we're going to court.
What's the street? How many streets are there? What are we talking about?
Well-
What's the scope here?
What's the name of the street up there?
That one's Plumtree.
Plumtree Lane. That was the one that was mentioned to me today.
I
Is
wanna
that the
know
only one in
already.
town?
Yeah. I wanna-
I'm not sure on that. We have to somehow dig into the paperwork and sue, because they're supposed to, every street that we've accepted in town, they have to, supposed to renew their contracts every 3 years. Now, I don't know if that's been going on in town. So every time we accept a street, 3 years later, they gotta go through all the paperwork again and resubmit.
Why are we
We-
plowing a private way?
I don't know.
So I can answer this question, right? So there's a mass general law that the town can accept at town meeting that allows for removal of ice and snow from private ways. I can't tell you which one, cause Canva does not line anything up on my phone, but according to this, Town of Hubbardston, I'm sure it's a town clerk document, we did accept that MGL, right? So the town at one point in time accepted the mass general law that allows us to plow private ways. That being said, I don't have a hard copy of the policy in front of me, so I have not
I would
read
like
it.
a hard copy of that. If we can get that out, we can discuss it.
It's one page, I have no problem doing it.
But-
1 second.
But for the
I need a better
plowing,
pen.
what's wrong with that pen?
Oh, it's terrible.
It wasn't mine, I took it from the front.
Okay,
There were too many easy meetings.
I know. There were.
There are too many what?
There were too many easy meetings, I should have known today was gonna
Well, and you know, perhaps this isn't ripe for discussion
Oh, I got
today,
one.
but I think it's just making sure we understand that there's a mass general law that allows a municipality to plow a private way, and we've accepted that mass general law according to,
Yes,
The
but there's
list.
also provisions in our policy that we have to follow, that we
Absolutely.
don't, that we haven't followed. So whether we accept it under the law, we still have our own provisions that
A few
need to
years,
be
few years
followed.
back, we had the people on Streeter Road come before us.
That's another one.
Well, no,
that's-
but we, a lot changed. They came before us and did what they had to do.
And it's gotta be done every 3 years.
no, I don't think
I
it's.
think-
Not, I don't believe that.
You know what?
Not for them.
Let me read the thing.
So it might be if it's a private, you might be 100% right in the private road policy, but once it's a town road,
It's a
that's
town
it,
road?
it's town road.
Right.
So
Streeters.
Streeter is accepted by
Yeah.
the
He
townspeople
told me it
as
was,
a
he
town
told me
road.
Streeter was accepted.
Yeah.
Cause they're no longer a private road.
Yeah, but I thought he said it has to be done every 3 years.
Not for town road, you might be referencing, he might have been
A new
referencing,
road.
no, the private ways policy procedure, I have no idea what it says.
Yeah, that's what he was mentioning.
Okay, so what's the scope of the conversation? Are we just talking about one street then? Just the one street?
Basically just the one street, unless we go into and dig up the paperwork if there's other private roads in town being
And
plowed.
unlike Streeter Road, this street is not
One page.
Accepted.
accepted,
Right in there.
Correct.
That's
but we're
probably-
plowing it anyway.
There you go,
Correct,
Chris.
and we're paying a
Take one, pass
contractor to
down.
plow.
So why are we plowing
You
an
can have one, I want
unaccepted,
two. I'm gonna give one to Peter, thank you.
why are we plowing an unaccepted
No, I read
street?
it.
Do we know?
I
Yes, because under Mass General Laws, Chapter 40, Section 6C, the Board of Selectmen shall annually designate private ways, but previously, they probably accepted the MGL, which was a local option of Chapter 40, Section 6C, that allows a municipality to plow a private way.
So basically, we have conflicting,
I think
A
we need to
policy
understand
that's
why we're plowing,
conflicting.
why we're plowing. I understand the reasons why we may be plowing, but I think we have to understand why we are plowing.
What?
I said, I'm just really happy policy review is doing what I wanted it to do.
Do we have a list of the private ways in town?
I would think I
Nate?
would hope, think.
Yeah.
Maybe Travis does, I don't know, but, I mean,
So-
like I said, I was on the side of the road talking to his tractor.
So Nate, is it possible we could put this off to the next meeting and also in addition to this policy, have a list of the private ways in town so that we have more of a discussion point, and if it's
And
a
find
point of
out-
contention, have Travis come.
Right, and to add to that, find out which ones the town is currently plowing and why.
yeah, so this
Take
says,
notes.
if it's a
What?
private way, that it has to be, a waiver has to be submitted every 3 years to the town with all the abutters, blah, 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 that's where that 3 years is coming from.
Yeah, and it has to be done to keep plowing it.
Yes, but what Heather's saying is Mass General Law.
It's covered under Mass General Law, but we have basically that's an addendum, another thing they have to do.
We have conflicting,
To keep,
Yeah.
correct.
We have
So,
conflicting
either our
things.
policy's gotta reflect the law,
yeah,
we can have addendums to a law, state law, can we not?
So I think this just elaborates more clearly, right?
Yeah.
We've accepted the Mass General Law, it says the town can plow private ways, and then we have a policy that says each year, the select board will designate
yeah.
what those private ways are, and we still reference, Board of Selectmen, so this probably hasn't been looked at in a little while.
Right.
But did we accept the Mass General Law?
We did according to
Yeah.
the, which I'm assuming came off the town clerk's website when I
Okay.
Googled it. So I think it maybe,
So it
Mr.
also, we must have a list of the private ways in town.
and then on the backside is the application that the
Yes.
street is supposed to fill out.
Mr. Chairman, can I request that we hold this to the next meeting to allow Nate an opportunity to both gather a list of what we have in private ways in town,
Hubbardston
what we last
accepted,
accepted, and invite Travis to a meeting.
Hubbardston accepted Mass General Law 46C on June 24th, 1996.
Okay.
Were you there? Did you vote it?
Wasn't even born.
1996?
You weren't? Come on, are you serious?
He magically appeared.
Yeah.
That she, 27, 28.
So, Heather has
That's the same
requested,
age as my oldest child, 1996.
are you, all right,
That's fine.
if we do that,
Yep.
okay,
I knew there would be a backlog of this, that's why in the whole
Yeah,
schedule,
they're separated out.
there's catch-up days
Yeah.
built in.
We might get through one of them tonight.
Yeah, we'll see something.
so the street one, we're,
So are we done with this already?
oh,
No,
now.
We're gonna table it till the
She-
next
she
meeting,
asked to
so get
table
more
it to the
So I don't
information
need to
for
ask
you.
any questions?
you can.
Write them on the sheet, bring it with you next week.
I don't remember approving, I mean, we're supposed to approve them every year, right? Is that what this said?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, they're
And
supposed to.
we have not been,
Thank you very much.
that's what that's the
Next.
whole, that's the thing.
Can you sign those papers and then pass them down to me,
I
please?
thought I already did.
It's round two.
Yeah, there was a typo.
Now it's Jeffrey, as opposed to Jeffery.
Wow, they put my middle initial in there, that
Yeah,
should be
mine
done.
too. That's
Finally.
not right.
Only took them a year and a
Reprint.
half.
Alright, so are we doing all three of these policies, or just the plowing of private ways
The other
policy?
two, I'm just asking that we mark as reviewed, because one of them is
Thank you.
Thank you.
is a complete streets policy which has not changed and is simply a requirement for us to qualify for grants. And the other is a state law accepted about how to report a pothole.
I was gonna ask if we can hold that one till next time.
Sure.
How to report pothole?
It's just, it's the instructions you give to the residents and.
so the complete streets and the pothole we are putting off also, is that,
Yes. No, complete streets
Complete
is good.
streets, we can be complete.
Yeah,
okay,
33% ain't
Asking
bad.
that you mark, how do we
That's
wanna
the
do
failure
this?
rate
'Cause
of
that
one
was-
of the
Mr. Chairman,
laptops.
I'd like to make a motion that we update the complete streets policy with the review date as of today.
Second,
motion made, second, any discussion,
Does that one
questions?
say select board in it?
I don't have that one, so I don't know.
And if it, can I ask that if it does not appropriately refer to the board, you allow me to update it
Yes.
based on the review date?
Motion so amended.
Yes, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, motion carried, okay,
That was done.
so where are we now in terms of the policies?
Policies are good, we're on to L.
we got 69 more to
okay.
go, we're
We
taking
got
3 in like
the
a
TA
week.
report, did
Oh,
you
yeah.
jump over it, or do you?
Yeah, he jumped over it.
What do you wanna do there, Nate?
1 second, tell you. Senior Center deck is nearing completion, capital improvement plan has been released 48 Gardner Road. I would like to thank you all and the staff members for their hard work over the summer. I didn't realize that we did it all summer, cause I ran into someone at Hannaford's and they said, "What'd you do this summer?" I said 48 Gardner Road, that's it.
Oh, the fixed road.
Alec is working on the ADU bylaw review, where we're exploring opportunities to fund a zoning revision. The library has a 400% increase in summer reading participation. Their strategic plan is nearly complete. We had our monthly staff meeting last week. Free cash was certified at $549,000, $563. We will talk about that plenty of times, so let's just rush through it tonight. Signage and foundation RFPs are due by September 12th. I will have updates for you after that. Municipal aggregation, we are finalizing the plan. We met with the DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection, and there will be a public section of that very, very soon. I'll have a calendar maybe by next meeting, if not the one after that.
What's the likely endpoint before we can, have that as an option?
Soon, 6 months, a little before that. I'm attending 2 different trainings, one for BRIC grants, the Building Resiliency Infrastructure in Communities. It's a federal grant. It is a very long course, but I will be taking it on Tuesdays from next week until December.
Oh jeez,
So-
that's a
So
lot.
you're not here
Every
every,
Tuesday?
every Tuesday?
No, it's like an hour online.
Oh,
And they're gonna help us, I'm hoping to be able to get some good input on how to apply for federal grants for 48 Gardner Road in the name of building resilient communities. And then that HR course I am taking on Fridays.
was that online too?
Yep.
Was that an hour too?
No, that one's all day. That one's
All day.
all day on Fridays for 5 Fridays in a row, and it was competitive to get in.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
We're preparing for the band sale next week, the bond anticipation notice sale for the funding of the project. I'm gonna bring this up, but you can ask questions. The leases ended up making it so we have to roll in the ban for the building with the ban for the school roof in order to get it tax-free. I will be sending you guys an email about that. It has all been figured out by our financial advisor.
The building up there, 48,
Yeah,
with the roof over there?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we're still banning that because the MSBA
What's
takes
banned?
forever. Bond anticipation
Every-
notice.
every year.
Yep,
Until you get a final, like 10-year bond or
Yep.
whatever, or 10-year loan.
yep.
Alright, that's not good.
It's actually really good
It's good, it's just.
Why?
because we don't have to pay taxes
Taxes.
on the building because
Okay.
of some smooth operating, and
Right.
we've already gotten it approved by bond legal counsel.
What's the rate right now?
They're talking 4.5, but we won't know until next week, cause that's what the sale is.
Maybe it'll go down in January. Alright, next.
I applied for Travis to take advantage of the Inspector General's free MCPPO base training. They just announced a couple months ago that they were going to offer one per community for free. I already have my MCPPO, so
What is MCPPO?
purchasing licensure.
It's the procurement training.
So it's like a purchasing agent for the town?
Yep, I'm our purchasing agent, but I came with my MCPPO already.
Okay.
So and Travis he does some of it for the DPW.
You can buy his product and
It's
stuff like that?
always better to have more than less.
Correct.
And the school asked if they could have our person, so I quickly signed Travis up for it. Like,
The school asked if they could use him?
if they could use our
Seat,
free,
free seat.
if they could use our free seat for Kevin.
It's like a $1,200 value.
All for the school?
Yeah.
What do we get in return?
Nothing.
We don't have to
Because
worry about
Travis
it.
A broken
Sit down.
clock.
Cause Travis is gonna go. questions, feel free to reach out at any time.
Alright. Thank you. Next
I
item,
negotiated the price another 10%.
matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair, I don't have any other, is there anything from the board?
Broken clock.
Just waiting for it.
It's still broken? Or,
Still
It's-
broken.
It's part broken.
what is it? The arm's not moving?
No, it's a little off.
Right twice a day.
Well, no, cause it's a little off, so it's actually not.
So what, they got the timing wrong on the thing, or
Yeah,
the
it's-
gear mesh is wrong?
It's
or-
wrong. It's
So they
off
put
a
the,
little bit.
the arm in the wrong gear?
No, it's like legit,
Oh.
not the right time.
It's probably old design.
Brand
Yeah,
new.
pass it down.
The
We just
motor.
fixed it.
I know, the motor.
Jeff, you
Wanna
have
pass it
two?
down?
Oh.
Take one
Jeff, you
back.
have two?
You have two.
You have two? You have two.
See if it's flipped.
Oh,
The
it's
pile's
here.
getting bigger here.
We need to
Okay.
enter executive
More
session before
trees.
talking about this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
talk
we
about
can't do
this.
anything, alright. So, nothing.
I have two.
You have,
Okay. Thank you.
so, nothing for the, other than the clock, so we won't go to public, press questions, no one's here. So we're going to be moving into executive session, I'll read the, reasoning. Executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 39, Paragraph 23B, Phrase 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair declares, I so declare, the host community agreement considerations. And we will afterwards return to the regular session for the sole purpose of adjourning.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so, it's a voice, okay, so we have a first and second, so, Peter,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
me, yes. Okay,
Mr. Chair, I ask that we give the camera a moment to switch over and that